The 4 reasons why you're poor. If you want to get ahead in life, especially in real estate investing and wholesaling real estate, when I've seen people struggling or not getting to the point where they want to be and they say they're going to get it, but they don't reach their success and their goals, they fail at this business, it really comes down to 4 main things. Guys, my name is Zach Ginn.
My name's Rick Ginn.
And we have trained hundreds of thousands of wholesalers, verified hundreds of thousands on how to get their first wholesaling real estate deal. I've had a lot of people get their first deal. They make $100K, they make millions of dollars. And then I get people that make excuses or they say, this doesn't work for me, and they don't become successful. There are 4 main limiting factors that make you poor, especially in real estate wholesaling. And we're here to tell you why you're poor doing this and how to break this habit. Guys, this is going to be a big trigger warning for a lot of wholesalers watching this that aren't ready to face the fact of why they're not at the point where they deserve to be and where they need to be. But this is something that we need to talk about today.
So let's start off with number 1, and it's one of the biggest ones. It's just your lack of being honest with yourself. At the end of the day, you can have coaches, you can have mentors, you can have moms, dads, uncles, nieces, whatever you want, but you have to come home to yourself every day. And if you're not honest with yourself, how can you hold yourself accountable? And then take it another level. Say you hire someone to hold you accountable. At the end of the day, you're going to do what you want anyways. And so if you would just be honest with yourself and go, okay, here's my deficiencies, here's what I'm not doing, and this is what I got to do, and this is the game plan going forward, it will fix a lot of your issues. But if you're going to keep lying to yourself and saying it's okay, I'll get to it tomorrow, I'll get to it next week, you're going to be in the exact same position where you are. And this is where all your excuses come out. And you got a choice. You either can be accountable to yourself or you can just lay out excuses. I don't accept excuses because excuses are a reason for you to justify why you don't want to be accountable to yourself. If you can fix number 1 and just be brutally honest with yourself, your life can change just unbelievable. So guys, be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, there's no point in watching the rest of this video, in my opinion.
It's 100% true, right? And I think one thing not a lot of people take into account for wholesaling real estate, and this is an absolutely true quote, but unfortunately a lot of people take this quote as perfect of what it means. But you can't blame yourself for the result. You can only stress and worry about the effort you put in. And that's 100% true. I saw that quote and I thought about this, and this is something I think a lot of wholesalers need to understand is you should only worry about and really deal with the things that are in your control, which is your effort. The result that happens, unfortunately, sometimes crazy stuff happens, right? Houses go on fire when we have a big deal, right? Like that's out of my control, but the effort I put in, that's something I can control. And here's the thing. If you're not honest with yourself in the effort that you're putting in your own real estate business or in your life right now, guys, the effort you put in, the action you take is 100% correlated to the result. You want to make $1 million? Do $1 million worth of effort to get to that point. This is the thing a lot of people say, oh, I worked 4 hours today in wholesaling. It doesn't matter what the hours you put in. We do not get paid by the hour. We get paid by the job. The job is your goal. Number 2 here, this is a huge one. This is one, I got friends that do this. I got people that are struggling in wholesaling try to talk to me about this, but it's 100% a terrible thing. Your routines are making you poor. As somebody that loves a calendar, loves his routines, loves being analytical about things, I could tell you so many of you are becoming poor by your routines. You turn into what we call a schedule junkie. And this is something I think a lot of people fall in victim for. They are quote unquote always busy. Do you know somebody like this that is always busy, always have a problem? Oh, I can't do this. Here's the thing. Either you find time or the time will find you. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. There are people who are perpetually busy forever. And if they are not busy and they have some free time, subconsciously, they will find something to do that is busy work. The truth is, if you work a regular job in the United States of America, you are most likely working 40 hours a week. If you're working overtime, we're at 50 or 60. You really do the math here, and let's say you do some sacrifice. You sleep 6 hours a day. You sleep 7 hours a day. You stop a lot of social media consumption. You're going to be able to find 4 to 5 hours a week to talk to sellers, drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars, research, and take action. Not watch YouTube videos. And yes, you're watching a YouTube video right now, but this YouTube video makes no sense, and there's no point of me being behind a camera with you if you are not going to take action of what I say. So many people like to overconsume real estate information, but they never take the action. If you could take action while consuming, that's perfect. But this gets people in that analysis paralysis problem where they don't take the action and they're just always busy with their routine. You have to break the habit. And so yes, have a good schedule, but the point of scheduling is so you can perfectly be the most efficient with your working hours. And so because you're so efficient, you don't have to do stupid stuff outside of that. And that stupid stuff can be productive which you can do with wholesaling, which will make you a ton of money.
Okay, number 3, you, and I mean you, aren't struggling enough. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not rich. And let's break it down, guys. When I say you're not struggling enough is like you are just getting by. Like you have all the creature comforts, you got your car, you probably have housing secure. Obviously, you do food and groceries. You know, you go out to dinner here or there, you get your latte at Starbucks. And honestly, all that stuff, it just doesn't motivate you. Listen, here's the reality is, if you want to become rich, you got to stop looking rich. You are going to have to make sacrifices to get ahead. I've learned this the hard way, and the sooner you learn this, the better off you're going to be. Your struggling is all your efforts got to be into locating motivated sellers so you can get your deals assigned. All this other stuff, nobody cares what car you drive. Honestly, nobody cares what house you're in. At the end of the day, are you making progress with your business and yourself? And let me let you know a little warning is, most of you are struggling because you're trying to conform to all your friends and family so you fit in. Stop trying to make everybody happy. Make yourself a priority. The people around you are making you complacent, telling you it's all right. It's like, listen, it's okay to get a job. It's okay to get ahead. Honestly, if you want to be exceptional, you're going to have to do exceptional things. So stop being the norm amongst your peers and your family. Step up to the plate. Start struggling. Get wildly uncomfortable. How? Go make 1,000 calls right now. So here's an example of not struggling enough. Oh, Rick, Zach, I made some cold calls today. I know what that means. That means you made 5 or 10. I'm looking for the person that's going to go so far above and get wildly uncomfortable, because once you get uncomfortable, change is happening. And that's the change you need to stop looking rich and actually become rich. Start struggling. Stop being comfortable. That is the formula to move forward.
And it's absolutely true. You know, a lot of people, until they get to that point, they won't become successful, right? So I got people, Zach, I'm absolutely broke. And I'm like, okay, you're absolutely broke. So struggling is not my problem. Trust me, being broke is one thing, but struggling enough where it's like, I'm so sick of being broke, that's another struggle too. And once you get to the point where you are so sick of where you're at in life right now, and you have to go and cold call because you have to make a change in your life, that is when things will start changing for you. One thing I've always seen with a lot of people that are quote unquote broke is they will struggle, but they don't want to get out of the situation. And until the situation is so terrible and immense that you actually have to do more struggle to get out of the situation, you're never going to do it. For example, if there was a cold ice bath right there, you will never go in that ice bath, right? Like that, oh, that's uncomfortable, that's terrible. Why would I ever do that? Let's say, for example, your hair catches on fire. There's so much pain from your hair being on fire, you don't even care about the struggle of the ice bath. You just want to get rid of the fire going on right now. That fire has to be you being broke. And unfortunately, so many wholesalers have this fear of cold calling. Until your fear of being broke is larger than your fear of cold calling, nothing can happen. So your hair's got to go on fire and you got to jump in that freezing water. Number 4, the last and most important thing. For most wholesalers, this is the truth. You are just being lazy. That is it.
Guy, like, how much more you want me to expand on this? Like, what time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? How much TV are you watching? Remember back to 1, to truly be honest with yourself, you're going to have to make change. Here's the reality. To make this change, you actually have to become somebody else. And it's a painful statement to make. It doesn't mean you change your family. You don't change what your character is, but you have to change what the priorities are in your life. So if you want to go hang out with your buddy and go down to the bar and like do stuff like that, that's not going to make you a better business person. There's a time and place for it, but like, you have got to get to work. And at this point, if you go, listen, I know I'm being lazy, at least recognize it and move forward. Listen, if you want to be broke, broke is a choice. If you want to become rich, rich is a choice. Decide which one you want to be on and take the action necessary.
That's it. You know what you have to do. 99% of people watching this, they know what they have to do. They have to put the effort in. And here's the sad reality, and this is the problem people are going to really be upset with me saying, but nobody cares how much effort you put in. Nobody cares how much work you put in. Nobody around you, heck, your family doesn't even care how much work you put into wholesaling. And heck, to a point, sometimes I don't care. I care about what the result is. You can say whatever you want. Oh, I cold called 5,000 people today. Like, I don't care what it is. What's the result? Because if you got 0 leads and you called 5,000 vacant leads, I know something's wrong. Either you're lying to me, you got bad skip tracing, or something is wrong, right? Here's the thing that most people don't want to accept in their life. This comes back to a lack of honesty. They know in their deep heart, they know they have to put in hard work. They know the more time they put in the business, the better they're going to be. But to themselves, they know they don't want to do it right now. It's not a big deal for them right now. And you know what? I'll get to it later. You have to tell yourself, no, I'm doing this now. I'm putting the effort and I'm doing what I deserve, my family deserves, and my future family and financial life deserves. Do I want to be 70 years old right now, still working a job or retiring just so I can live 10, 15 years and off to the sunset? Or do I want to make the change in my life right now? If you are struggling right now and you plan on having kids in the future, do you want them to go through the same struggle you did?
No.
And heck, there's another struggle about working a 9-to-5 job, that rat race no one wants to talk about. If you want your kids to stop living that life in the future, make the change now. To break the habit, to break the financial chains your family's having right now, you have to cut it right now at the source. And if you want to go work hard, go at it now. Be the person your kids want to look back at and say, hey, dad or mom, they put in the work. They were actually a gangster and did everything they possibly can to live the best life they can for my family, me, and the future generations. Be that one catalyst in your family that changes everything.
Guys, the choice is yours. You're going to have to pick. And here's the secret. If you don't pick, the choice will be made for you. And I'm going to leave it on that.
That's it. So guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe.
This is Rick Ginn.
This is Zach Ginn signing out.
See you guys later.
Thanks.